has a beginning should have an end. The only exception for that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هو الأول والآخر. He is the first and He is the last. The first with no beginning. What was before Him? How is it even possible? Before creation, before creating the skies, there was no skies. He created the skies. So this is the beginning of the creation of the skies. But it's hard to imagine. But He is in reality the first with no beginning. And the last with no end, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything and everything other than that, like me and you, we have a beginning that we all know. And we have an end. Between each beginning and end, there is a curve. لكل شيء إذا ما تم نقصان. If anything that begins comes to the peak of the curve, and then at this point it starts, getting down again. The beginning of a dunya, the beginning of even Islam. بدأ الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا. Islam begins, not with all of these number of followers and Muslims and even no couple of ayat. The beginning of Islam, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق, read in the name of your Lord, the one who creates. Those 4 or 5 ayat that came in the beginning, that's all Islam. And then it gets to the peak with all the time of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the civilizations, the spread of Islam. And the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us, not a single house, not a single place, day or night, that day or night reaches except Islam would reach it. But then at the end, وَسَيَعُودُ غَرِيبًا. So much so that Quran will be taken out of the Masahif. One day people will wake up and there's no more Quran, literally, physically, no ayat in the Mus'haf. And that marks the very end of the time. So we have so many beginnings that we really need to reflect on. Shabab yabda wa yantahi. You're flourishing, you are in the period of youth, and then everybody is strong, everybody is having the desire and hopes and dreams, but then you grow up a little bit, and then the end will come. We need to reflect on that. We definitely need to reflect on that. But what I want to focus on is, if you do not have this good beginning that you have been always dreaming of, it's never too late. It's never too late. Begin to change. We're always thinking of changing. We're always thinking of that kind of ilm, knowledge, hifd al-Quran, being a better Muslim, being a better physician, being a better worker, whatever, by getting this course, studying this, boosting my knowledge. But you never start. Do it. Or you're always thinking, this habit has been always ruining me and taking over my life, but you never take the beginning to change, to go to that route of tawbah. It's hard. It's usually hard to take the first step. You always look at how long is the way. 1,000 miles, but a trip of 1,000 miles, a way of 1,000 miles, always stick with the first khutwa, with the first step that you take. Just begin. Thinking of Al-Jannah, Al-Firdaus Al-A'la, Ru'yat Rabb Al-Alameen, being with the winners, it all begins here. All of that begins here, and it begins right now. Take the first step towards that. We can talk about so many issues and fields and topics that we really can reflect on. بداية وخيرهم الذي يبدأ بالسلام. Two people, they have issues with each other. They used to be friends or close to each other, and something happened, and then they break off. We need a beginning, we need an initiative. Somebody needs to take that step to break that vicious circle of turning away. يلتقيان فيعرض هذا ويعرض هذا. The Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, those two people who have issues in between, when they meet, this one turns away, the other one turns away. وَخَيْرُهُمَا, the best amongst the two is who? Is the one to take the initiative and begins. Begins what? Giving the salam. So let's think of the beginnings and ends. Let's think of our beginning. لم يكن شيئا مذكورا, we were nothing to be mentioned. And then من نطفة. أولم يرى الإنسان, has not the human being seen how he was created from, or what he was created from? من طين, from mud, that's Adam alayhi salam. This is the beginning. And then من نطفة, علقة, مضغة, from all of these process stages of the creation, the fetus, and then coming والله أخرجكم من بطون أمهاتكم, another beginning and another start in our life, not knowing anything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us everything and gave us everything. We came to this life with zero money, with zero knowledge, not even talking, not even aware of anything around us. And then we acquire all of Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us all of that, make us capable of talking and achieving things, and then we leave this life same way, we leave everything behind. We cannot talk anymore. When we die, no more talking. Money, your money is not your money anymore. It goes back to the cycle and the circle of life in a specific way. But if I have to talk about something that's really important is لحظة العمر, the moment of lifetime. Within our life, there is always a special moment that you never know when it will come. We know from the stories, I'll give you a couple of examples. The moment of that person who, al-Baghi, that woman from Bani Israel, a prostitute, she is having that big of an issue, a sin. But then subhanAllah, because of that moment of lifetime that she saw a dog that was thirsty, dying of thirst. She was walking in the desert, and we all are aware of the story. And she found the water. She came out of the well to find this dog. She gave that dog the water. شَكَرَ اللَّهُ لَهَا فَغَفَرَ لَهَا. And Allah forgave her sins because of that. That was the moment of lifetime. It doesn't matter how she begins or how she, that was the moment of lifetime. The moment of lifetime for that man who was walking, and then there was غصن في طريق الناس, a tree, a branch of a tree on the road of where people are walking, and he took that minute of his time to remove it, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave his sins. We can, so many other stories that because of that, in my life, in your life, because I made that decision, because I said that word, it made all the difference. So let's reflect on beginnings and ends. And every beginning should have an end. And every end marks a new beginning. Let's not focus on how something ends, how this door is shut for me right now, because that marks a new beginning. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not close one door for you except that He opens another door for you. Do not be attached, let's not be attached to the past. Let's not be attached to what we are in, where we are at, because that probably would come to an end. Let's always be attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fadlullah tabarak wa ta'ala. So, if what we have right now is gone, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides that we'll move on to a different stage, then we'll be always happy. We'll not be extremely attached to those beginnings or that stage in our life, because anything that has a beginning should have an end. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best of beginnings and the best of ends and the best in between. Allahumma ameen.